Welcome back to the tea table. Today we're going to be taking a look at a deck from Salt Lake City Regionals, the 33rd place deck run by Nick Robinson. Now, if you don't know who that is, they're an amazing player. They're actually the 2016 Masters National Champion with Night March and Vespiquen. They've been playing for a while. They're also a coach on Metafy. So if you want coaching from a great player, this is definitely someone you're going to want to check out. I'll link everything below in the description at the end of the video. And with that being said, let's take a look at this deck list. So when you look at the surface, you know, it's just a standard Arceus Inteleon deck. You got 4-3 Arceus, you got the 4-3-1-1 Inteleon, you got the Zigzagoon, you got the Dunsparce, so you don't have to worry about like Zapdos or something like that. You know, pretty standard. And then you got Gyarados V. What does Gyarados V do? Well, it basically makes your opponents not be able to do anything. So, the basic does have an attack for 2 water and a colorless. Get angry. 20 times the amount of damage on it, and then it does 180 for 4. But you do have the VMAX, which for 3 does 120 as well, but you discard an energy. So, you discard energy, your opponent's active, can stall him a lot. Nick did have something to say about Gyarados, because I did ask why it was included in the deck. They said Gyarados is actually super useful against Arceus and Mew. Against Arceus and a lot of decks of VMAXs, using Gyarados to clean up a KO, and you get it hit into, so you can use Get Angry as the way to go. Against Mew, Hyper Beam and Patch to the Peak is pretty broken, and obviously you still have Memory Capsule to fall back on. Gyarados just really helps with the price trade, and having a Pokemon that has just a bit more HP than Arceus. So, it's pretty much just a tank you put out there that your opponent not going to really be able to deal with in one hit. Now, the card they refer to, Memory Capsule, says this Pokemon, the Pokemon this card is attached to, can use any attack from its previous evolutions. So what you do is you, like I said, you get the knockout, you put the Gyarados out there, they attack for 200, you got Memory Capsule. Well, you're doing 20 damage for each damage card on it. So you're just returning it. So this card can get you 4 to 5 prizes just by existing. I mean, like, its weakness is Jolteon, but Jolteon, if it hits it for 200 with Memory Capsule, you're still knocking it out. So, it's a great backbone. There is only 1-1 because you still are an Arceus deck, but Gyarados VMAX is a great pivot, and as Nick said, it's just a house that a lot of decks cannot really deal with and have to play around, but by playing around it, it just helps you because that means they're not attacking you and taking out your major threat. So let's see the trainers that going on in this deck. We do have Capacious Bucket, gets 2 water. We got 3 Evolution Incense, 3 Level Ball. You got the 4 Quick Ball, and an Ox Ball to get your Pokemon. There is a Pal Pad because you can see there's not too many supporters in the deck because when you have Inteleon lines, you can really cheat your way in not having so many supporters because you can just search them out whenever. So you don't have to rely as much as your Crobat or Barrel to draw into them. And Pal Pad is a great way to recycle since you don't have more than 2 of any supporter in your deck. You got the Scoop Up Nets to recycle the Drizzile and or Inteleon. You got the Switch. And you got the mentioned Pat to the Peak, which is insane. Sometimes you just win games by dropping 1 Pat to the Peak on your opponent going first. And if they don't have a way to get rid of it, sometimes they just pass. That is definitely a key card that is insane. So the supporters, we got 2 Bosses Order, we got the 1 Cheren scared to pick up your Arceus. So imagine your opponent, you got Arceus, you tacked, you took a cheap prize, one's like 250 or whatever, like sure. I'm going to pick up Cheren and bring up my Gyarados now. Like what? Come on. That's an insane pivot move. Even if you bring up another Arceus, like your opponent pretty much wasted their whole turn. We got the 1 Marnie, we got 2 Melanie, as you do get back water energy, which can help you power up an Arceus in 1 turn. With double turbo, which is pretty great. To research, we do got a Big Charm because adding 30 more HP is clutch against decks like Ice Rider. When you are Arceus, or even Mew, because it makes them have to have basically all their cards to do that. Knock you out in 1 hit. You got the 1 Choice Belt, because you can 210 if you have double turbo like Suicunes and stuff like that. Or knock out Genesect V's in 1 hit, was pretty good. And we do got the Memory Capsule, like we said. And we finally finished that up with 6 water and 4 double turbo energy. So, this is the deck list for it. We're going to jump into a few games and see how we can get our opponents with our Gyarados VMAX. A couple games with Gyarados Arceus to see if we can get some wins today. So, if you haven't played the ladder yet, The prizes are Rapid Strike Urshifu, Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX, and a full art Cheryl, so pretty good. Now we get to go second. We do open Arceus. Pretty good, pretty good. That card is not bad. Alright, our opponent starts with a Mareep. They'd say, oh, this is Rayquaza. This would be 30 decks. Could be Raichu. Could be a lot of things. Could be Regieleki. There could be a lot of things going on in this deck. So we will see. They do discard 2 lightning. Pretty good. For Arceus. Okay. Gonna guess it's Raichu. Attach a double turbo to Mareep. On accident. Oops. We'll start trying to tag. We got Gyarados. We got 3. We got most of those. Okay. Oops, scoops on our opponent. Alright, that was a good game, good game. Play another one here after we got 50 coins from the ladder. Okay. Next game. Alright, let's see how this goes. We did lose coin flip again. We will go first. Alright. They playing Mew. Are they playing Mew? Is the question. They are, which is why they wanted to go second. Well, I mean, just Mew things, right? Now we wait. We see if Mew does the thing it does. Alright. So, while Mew does its turn, I did attend the regional myself. I did go 4-4-1 with Arceus SP on VMAX. It was a deck I tried a little bit, and by a little bit I mean 3 games, and submitted it. Espeon seemed really good against Arceus. Fortunately, I didn't really play against those decks. Other than that, though, I had a great time. It was great seeing people. Our opponent attached to their Mew and not a Meloetta, so that's really good for us. So we're not getting knocked out probably, unless they get Sparkle and 4 Power Tablets. Yeah, so it was a good time. If you can get to a regional or something like that, if you have the means to, I really, really recommend it, because it's a great time to see people maybe you've met over the pandemic on Twitter, or friends you haven't seen for a while, if you've been playing that long. It's definitely something great. I wouldn't, I'm going to try to attend other ones, but, sometimes you can't. Meanwhile, our opponent here is doesn't have a Meloetta in play, so that's where I'm at. They were on their 3rd Genesect. Maybe they prized their Meloettas, to be fair, because they did Fog and Battle Pass, so maybe they're just prized. But our next turn is going to be Drizzile, Evolution Incense stuff. That's not a Drizzile, so we get Drizzile. We're going to get an Evolution Incense. We're going to get an Arceus off the Evolution Incense. So I think I'm going to get Path and just to draw a card. So we could draw and get other stuff in play. Now that we used our ability, we don't really need anything, so we will research. Hopefully not draw too many waters. Alright, our opponent said cool. So what we're actually gonna do is we're not gonna get the knockout with Zigzagoon. So maybe next turn we can do a little knock him out, attack again thing. You know what I'm saying? So we will put 2 on Gyarados and 1 on Arceus. Because if we have to, we can also get a Cheren's Care. So, we'll see. They do got Mew. And another Mew. And another Mew. And the Switch. Do they got a stadium? That's the question. So basically, this Genesect's just hanging. Like, he's just there, you know? Like, he's not really doing much. So what we can do, so the thing we want to do is, so if we get Evolution Incense, we can get Inteleon. What does it do for us? So we could pick up Cheren's Care and something else for later, right? Okay, so I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to get this. We're going to use it to get the Cheren's Care. Actually, I kind of want to just get a Pal Pad too. So we could Cheren and then Pal Pad it back in. Yeah, because we do got the 1 water left in our deck to attach. We'll Pal Pad these 2 back in. We will pick this up, as they do not play Marnie. And next turn we can do some stuff. So, we'll hit. We will get the other water energy and attach it back to Arceus. Alright. I mean, if they put it back in their deck, great, right? Like, pretty good for us. Okay, well, that means we're going to have no hand. So that's pretty cool. To get another one, realistically, I should just copy. Nope, just kidding. Okay, well, we're going to take 5 prizes this turn. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to discard the water because we can Melanie. So we'll start off with the Zigzagoon, pinging that, taking 2. And then we will Melanie on to Gyarados. There. We did get that, which is pretty sweet. We'll attach. We'll evolve this. I don't think there's like anything we need. You know? We'll just pull this out of our deck just because. To have it. We're going to play this Inteleon. We're going to do this. We will get Gyarados out. You cannot put, remember, you cannot quick shooting anything with a fusion energy, so we'll hit this Genesect. And then we'll knock this out and take 3 more prizes. And we do have the boss order for next game, or for next turn, to knock out the Genesect for the win. So there might have been some unlucky stuff on our opponent's end by maybe them prizing Meloetta as they didn't get it turn 1. But who knows? They hit us with well played. We will simply draw, bring up the Genesect, and knock it out with Trinity Nova. Okay, so you saw how well our deck ran because the card Pats and Beak's pretty cool. So we did get a victory in there. We will play one more game real quick. Got a chest. Uncommon chest. Let's go. Alright. Get one more game, and we had an Oop Scoops on our opponent. And Pats and Beak's pretty cool. So, let's see. Oh, we get to go first. Open Gyarados. Opponent's got some cool Galarian deck pack. And Team Challenge sleeves, which I can't look at apparently. Always thought you could. They're playing Ice Rider, I believe, because the cross switcher. So we'll take the mulligan. Alright, so what we're going to do is that. We'll get an Arceus. So what's awkward about this is we have both of these in our hand, which can be awkward for later. So we're going to discard that one. And I will get a Sobble. And we'll end our turn. So if we don't get Marnied, which might not be too bad, we can Arceus and then research and then see what we don't get and attack from there. So here's if this is Ice Rider. Could be Suicune. But if it is Ice Rider, Gyarados gonna be clutch. Because they can't one-hit us, and then we could just knock them out really easily. So we will see what they're going to get here with this Quick Ball. It is a Lotad, so it is probably the second place deck from the weekend. And they're going to keep calling. Okay. I feel like they already have a Melanie in their hand because they did discard it. So, oh, damn. Now the real question is, do we get... I didn't see what was in my deck. Okay. We're just going to bank based on their starts. They can't get us. So we got the switch. We'll do this. We will use the ability. So we got double turbo. Do we need Pat to Peak? I mean, they get to draw a card, but we'll get the double turbo. And I'm going to get a Cheren's Care. Because I feel like we're going to take some amount of damage this turn based on what they did. So I will put the Big Charm on it. So we'll go 2-1 here. So we'll go 2 here. And then 1 here. Because we got that Cheren's Care. Pick it up, touch double turbo. Boom, great. Okay. Alright, so being down both of these makes it a little awkward. Kind of for the game. Because, getting the 2 trainers is clutch to swing around a turn if they Ludicolo us and all that. Okay, so they're going to be doing a lot of drizzles going on here. Man, they got Rick Andy, too. Okay. Yeah, this should be a fun turn. Start with our first shading dealings for 1 card. We'll see what they search for. A rare candy, okay. So they drizzled for rare candy. 2 rare candy to Inteleon, I imagine. Rare candy into Inteleon for 2 more shady dealings to get 2 more trainer cards. a Raihan, and a Quick Ball. Alright. They will Quick Ball, I imagine, for the Suicune. And concede. Okay. Yeah. With that being said, Gyarados is cool. You didn't really get to see it. It would have been good in this game, but we didn't get that far. These were like the weirdest 3 games I've ever played in my life. So yeah. Anyway, Nick Robinson, really great player. Go follow him. Arceus, do whatever you want. Gyarados is actually a house that could take some hints, and with Memory Capsule, swing the games. If you liked the deck profile, please let me know. If you found the games weird enough, give me a subscribe for that one, because that was confusing and strange. And I will see everybody next time on the tea table.